Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rum Boys Fantasy Network. Jake, you like my Chris Collinsworth slide in there?
Dude, yeah.
It's pretty fucking flawless, man. What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the one, the only Rum Boys Fantasy Network. It's your boy, the Admiral, the leader of the pirate gang, the General, Rum Boys Robbie, you boy Robbie J. Check me out, Twitter, Instagram, at Rum Boys, spelled with the Z-N-E-T. I'm joined by my co-host for the evening, Jake, Mr. Rum Boys Combat. What is good, bro?
Nothing much. We might actually have some form of combat with this Habib fight. We're not sure yet, but
we are not sure.
Dana White has said he wants to move Rosenstrike and Ngannou on the same card as the Habib card, and they're going to probably move it to Russia, which will be like 2 o'clock our time.
I could see them trying to get away with that.
It'll be like at 3 o'clock in the morning our time. It'll start. It'll go on at like 7 in the morning, but it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
I'll keep
really
my phone
not.
off. I turn my phone off and I watch it the next day, and it's a live sport to me. That it matters a lot.
I mean, it's yeah, we'd have to turn our phones off. I guess it wouldn't really be a live sport. Here in America, I could assume with everything going on right now with this whole coronavirus, I guess we would all stay up and we would try our best to watch it live. Nick Howard, I'm sorry, buddy, I have not gotten your text.
Per sources, the slightly less Jewish Adam Schefter.
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the show. We are live on sportscaster.com. Make sure you guys download the Sportscaster app on any and all Apple devices that you may have in your home. Make sure that you're staying your ass at home on top of that. And also binge watching plenty of Rum Boys content.
Many interviews.
Yes, lots of good stuff.
They'll age well, too, because there might not be any this year.
That is there aren't going to be any this year. So, yeah, that is very, very fair to state. We're live on Apple. Well, you guys are going to get the recorded version, but Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, you name it. We are there. We are everywhere. So make sure that you guys support us. Make sure that you go leave a 5-star review on those platforms. And yeah, keep on sharing the content and getting us subscribers. We're getting up there, guys. Motherfucker. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rum Boys and girls, what to do. Dilly. Don't treat it. It's not Mike Tyson on the cover or in the background. That's Muhammad Ali.
Down goes Frazier.
Yup.
In Manila, right?
Yep, except we crop Frazier as the coronavirus. Getting
or
knocked
Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder. All the time.
Wow. Let's get into the show, ladies and gentlemen. First question. Did Matt Rule practically show that he wanted to, in a way, reinvent the Cam Newton era by bringing in Teddy Bridgewater and PJ Walker from the XFL to replace Cam Newton? And is this going to be a quarterback competition?
I don't think it's a competition. I'm glad Walker is making 4 times the salary. I wish he could play football, though, but no. If you want to run that system with we good?
Yeah.
I was going to be back. Okay. Yeah, if you want to run that system that you ran with Cam or run any mobile system with Teddy Bridgewater, you're not a good head coach, and he is not a mobile quarterback in terms of how he plays. He is a pocket passer. He likes the spread offense. or a wide open offense, he likes to throw the ball. So I don't think they're going to run the similar offense at all. I don't see any way. If he
Uh,
does, he does not deserve to be an NFL coach.
really quick, just to piss off Coos. It's still here. It's still here. Um, nah, I feel like he is trying to reinvent, in a way
Really?
that mobilization of Cam Newton, in essence of PJ Walker can make throws on the run as well as Teddy Bridgewater.
Okay.
Both of them extend plays with their legs very, very well. They just they throw a little bit prettier than Cam. I mean, there's only been one time in his career where he's completed more than 60% of his passes for Cam Newton.
I thought it was his best year was like 65% or something, which isn't
Yeah, I think it was like
great.
65. Yeah. Um, so I
His
mean,
defense, he threw it deep a lot, and that was the offense. He's a deep ball thrower. So, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna have many designed runs like they did with Cam, or I don't think they're gonna give the option to have a designed run with Teddy, especially because he's been brittle in his college and NFL career. Reason he's been a backup after the injury. So I think overall he can move, and I think it's an option, but I don't see them having many designed runs for it at all with that system.
I don't. I mean, I don't know. No, they don't go with the design runs because you got to protect Teddy Bridgewater. You got to make sure that he stays healthy. You got to keep him upright. Um, so I don't know if they go with design runs uh, per se. What I do think though that does happen in that scenario, we may see the playbook look eerily similar. I think you're going to see things fairly similar. A lot of throws on the run, a lot of rollouts to either side, strong side, the weak side. Look for this to possibly be a quarterback competition. I was shocked. I'm honestly shocked that Carolina, which we'll talk about later, releases Kyle Allen. Not only they trade Kyle Allen or send him away, so he could join the Washington Redskins, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
And then you bring in PJ Walker, you release Cam Newton, you pay Teddy Bridgewater. It looks like the playbook is going to be built for passes on the run, schemes of that nature. Um, I like Christian McCaffrey even more now with having those two either or as a quarterback option, just because expect a lot of rollouts and then boop, little just quick jump offs, easy PPR.
And I think the reason PJ Walker ended up there and actually had interest from the NFL was Matt Rule recruited him at 16 years old and he played for Temple and Matt Rule coached there. So that's kind of
Exactly.
he might not be a competition guy, but he wanted to give him a job because he earned it, and he wanted to give his former player a job.
I think that we could be
I
getting
hope it is. I hope it's a competition. A Temple dynasty? Yeah. Well, they had one good year where they had like 12 wins.
Zach making it rain on Sportscaster, dropping some tips. Hell yes, Zach, appreciate it. They're little ones, just no sip, they're chill tips. They didn't go all crazy.
Yes, Leaves
Um,
D. Wilger is not a good quarterback. His arm is like Chad Pennington post injury.
but led the FBS in touchdowns though.
He did.
Let my man's be. Let my man's be.
And
Cubby
guess who
girl.
led the country in receptions for touchdowns? David Sills, an athletic
Yeah,
white receiver.
yeah, it was Vegas Sills. You're right. Fucking West Virginia, dude.
Like 23
Hey,
touchdowns.
MO, what's good, fellas? Well, okay. So you're not foreseeing a competition. You think that's more
I
considered people a
don't think they
job?
want it to be one. I mean, the quarterback they're paying what 20 million. They do definitely don't want to see a guy they're paying like 700,000
Then why would you
beat
go
him
with
out.
DJ?
You should open it up, but I don't think in their interest they want to see it be close. I think they want to see the guy they paid 20 million blow away the competition. But
We'll see. I mean, TJ is gonna
my issue is the health.
practice football.
Bridgewater's health is not great, especially well he snapped his leg on a drop back. So
Who are you? Here's the quick question: Who are you more excited to see? the second coming of a fully healthy Teddy B on his own team, ready to prove himself since Minnesota, or TJ, first player from the XFL to get picked up into the NFL, Walker.
Oh, for sure, Walker. I do want to see him win, but after seeing 20 million, I don't see that much of a fair competition. To be honest, they
I
paid
did
him a lot
that.
of money. I want to see PJ Walker. I'd love to see him go from like, if there is an award for it, um, MVP, if there were one of the XFL, and turn it into like most improved player, a type of award for the NFL. I would love to see that, but I mean,
I hope they let the
it'll be tough, man. It's very hard to work your way up. I know you don't love the guy, but Kirk Cousins is a guy that built his way up, and he made. But you have to admit, he outshined RG3 all the time. And how many times did he have to get benched before he
we
realized Kirk Cousins is better than
RG3
RG3?
because we rushed RG3 back from a freaking injury, and we just
Yeah, that was
ran
terrible.
RG3 into the
Well,
dirt.
he rushed back. Let's be honest. His
Hell
doctors are like,
no, no, no.
I mean, his all in for week one thing the day he was injured was
That RG3 era began the injury prone era of the Washington Redskins.
yeah,
That began, that's when all of a sudden the injury docket just started to back the fuck up on us. And not in a good way, like an old school juvenile track from the 99 to 2000s. No, this was a bad backup. This was like a fucking semi wide load. The driver can't see out his
yeah.
peripherals and just fucking cracks into a whole house that he was supposed to be moving furniture into. Just fucking wrecks the whole house. That's what happened. I believe that we have an RG3 curse.
Yeah, well, I mean, my point was just every time you could bring RG3 back, despite how Kirk played, you did. Even and eventually, it's like Kirk, you're the guy. RG3 is just too broken. But I think it's so hard for a backup to get the team, and it'll be very hard for this guy to get the team. If so, I think they're all in on Bridgewater, and I hope he does well. I hope they
Not
both.
fair Bridgewater to fucking RG3.
No, I think it's going to be harder for Walker because Bridgewater is probably going to be better than RG3, much better. So I mean,
Yo,
I don't know how he could be worse than RG3 on a snapped leg that he's playing on. That was
I
sad.
also will think that part of the reason why RG3 will not come onto the show is because he knows I'm a Redskins fan. He knows I'm an ass.
Okay,
That
okay.
he
Robbie
will-
doesn't want to remember this ever again. Mark
um,
Sanchez in 2018.
yeah, do you also remember the fact that we were playoff bound and then JJ Watt broke Alex Smith's leg? So we had to start Sanchez and Josh Johnson. Come on. Come on. Because y'all were definitely getting your shit pushed in that year. Y'all, you remember my 2015 defense? Yeah. Yeah.
When it was post 2015,
Huh?
when it was actually 2015 and 2016, and they were good.
Bro, yes. Oh my gosh.
You guys went. I don't know his name, but we'll go next topic. But who was a linebacker who was there for like 20 years and was never a Pro Bowler guy, but he was really good?
Running Fletcher?
Fletcher. Yeah.
Bro, running Fletcher. That's really good linebacker tape, kids. Go study that up. Keep it on Carolina. 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 Come on, raise up. The Panthers also signed Robbie Anderson, which Nick Howard.
Yep.
I was hoping I wanted to get Nick in here for this take. Hopefully we get him in Friday night. But the Panthers also signed Robbie Anderson. Nick called it about a month ago. Does this hurt DJ Moore in fantasy or no?
I don't think so. I mean, there's timing for everybody involved. If anything was going to hurt him, it's just a lack of communication with the quarterback. And it's going to be a new system for everybody, right? So
Yeah.
I think a second receiver is never a bad thing. I mean, more single coverage is more chances to get open, especially when there's a new quarterback receiver setup. And there's going to be less accuracy and less timing mastered. So a ball that's slightly off is going to be completed in single coverage. Might be batted in a double coverage. It's only going to help him. It's just, can you get it with Teddy Bridgewater or Walker? I mean, new quarterbacks are hard to get used to. And if you're comfortable with one, Des Bryant, you might not be used to another quarterback. and Dak Prescott.
I'm waiting to see if we have breaking news. It does sound like we are 99.9% confirmed on a
Cam
location
News.
for UFC 249. So if that happens during
Saw
this
the
show,
quote. Yeah, 99.99999. We're gonna have to make a card
that,
somewhere
oh,
in the world.
we will see. We will see. But no, keeping it here on topic. I feel like this does hurt DJ Moore a little bit. Like you got to slide him down your draft for just a little bit. You were probably going to go ahead and maybe draft him in like the third or the fourth. Now maybe got to look at him in like a fourth, late fourth, fifth round type of area. Um, just because when you got me seeing Robbie Anderson come in shows me that all the deep balls are going to go to Robbie Anderson. All the nine routes, all the big yardage, big percentage passes, the stuff that, a receiver gets targeted 4 or 5 times in a game, but those 4 or 5 times that they're targeted, those 4 or 5 times they catch it, maybe they get targeted 8 times, they catch it 5 times. Those 5 times they catch it, they go for 100+ yards and a TD or two for
Yeah,
you. And I think
the
that
Djax
Robbie
type of guy.
Yes, except Robbie Anderson is healthier than Jackson at this point in his career.
And bigger.
So,
He's just a bigger build than
he
he'll ever
is.
be.
So I mean, I think that Curtis Samuel is the receiver that's hurt the most. You do not draft Curtis Samuel at all. You draft Robbie Anderson first if you're looking at Panthers receivers, because I think that this receiving core is going to be super fantasy friendly. And I think this receiving core actually could even slightly, ever so slightly. He's still RB1, but could hurt CMC a little bit just because now you've got Robbie Anderson who's going to stretch the field. You've got Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore who are great route runners and really run the intermediate routes really well. So I think you're going to see them kind of running a combination of kind of the same intermediate stuff, and then Robbie Anderson's going to be that over the top guy.
Yep, and I also think that we have to look at Wayne. Was it Wayne Brady from LSU? Something Brady. I might be thinking of the comedian, but he was the passing coordinator for LSU. I'm sure he has something in store to really, even in the passing game, short passing game, to give McCaffrey space so he doesn't have to touch it all a million times a game and get crushed.
Yep.
So I think there's going to be some creativity we don't see, and there's going to be a lot more space in that offense. Winston, is it Moss's kid? Is that who he means?
I think he's talking about, yeah, if he's talking about a tight end that the Panthers are going to go after, he's talking about Thaddeus.
Okay.
There's two Mosses in this draft, and Thaddeus is Randy's son.
Yeah.
Zach is, no.
Joe Brady. Okay, yeah, I got the last
So,
name right.
um, no, I like it. I like it. No, at least I don't think they stick Ian Thomas. I like Nick State. And he's been pretty spot on with this team, actually. So I'm gonna keep rolling with the hot hand here, and I'm gonna go that they go after Thaddeus. Okay, I like it. I like it. Good shit there, bro. Um, I said that we were gonna get into this shit, man. Like I said that we were gonna get into it on today's show. The Redskins add Peyton Barber and JD McKissick to an already overpacked, overly crowded running back room. What the hell is Rivera doing? Then plus, you can go after Cam or Jameis, and you go after Kyle Allen. What the fuck is going on in the nation's cap?
The only thing I could possibly think of is handcuffing your rookie quarterback by giving him a good run game, and in a way, like this is going to be what you do for a few years while we get your mental side of the game better because he's had issues with turnovers, but that he slowed down. I don't think you really have to do this, by the way, but I think Rivera fears he could be a turnover machine, limit the passing, get some backs, but I think you let him fling it. Honestly, just let him throw the ball.
Let this kid learn.
Let him throw picks. Let him fail. That's what you do. Again, I'm going to go back to quarterbacks that struggle. Do you think Darnold and Baker and all these quarterbacks who are throwing picks early are Manning, Breeze? Not comparing the quarterbacks, but like you have to learn to make mistakes in the NFL. Look at Mark Sanchez. You manage his career for 5 years. You have nothing. because he never had to learn from mistakes.
So let me just touch on this really quick, really quick. Because you brought up a very good point. You brought up, AP truthers left the chat. First off, at this point in time, there shouldn't really be many AP truthers left. We all know that you can buy AP late. We know that AP can be plug and played at a flex, and he can win you some.
Depending on the league, that's like a fourth week free agent, honestly, at this point.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Depending on the league too. So I mean, um, with that being said, I don't think that there's so much as truthers out there. It's just like people know that he could be a game to game type of value guy.
He might
Um,
find you 2 touchdowns 1 week, maybe.
yeah. Still, now with that being said, with that being stated, he's not the back that's going to be going anywhere. You still got Bryce Love. You still got Darius Guys. I think that it's going to be one of those two that's going to be shipped out. I think that you could very well see guys shipped out on draft day or draft picks to move up. I don't think that guys you don't enlist as many backs as they have. We have about 6 backs, 8 back or no 7 backs in that room right now because Chris Thompson still has not been cut, released.
Really?
Yeah. So with that being said, with that being stated, look for backs to start being used to go and get draft picks. I don't know what the Skins are thinking. I don't know what they're wanting to do necessarily.
You have to make mistakes. Honestly, every quarterback in their first 3 years usually has a really bad year, and they learn and adjust if they're good enough. You can't, in my opinion, it's the Mark Sanchez rule. You can't baby a quarterback for 3 years and 4 years and then pay them because they never had that year where they had to throw the ball a lot and fail
Yeah.
and learn from it. You have to make them make mistakes, and I feel like you don't trust them. Well, Rivera doesn't trust Haskins, which is not a good sign.
Also with that, also no, it's not. Absolutely not. And I agree with you there. Also another thing to go hand in hand with that notion, is that I don't like to pick up a Kyle out to go hand in hand with that Haskins thing because you could have went and I get that you have to wait on the physical because of the COVID-19 pandemic and such. So you can't go out there, and get physicals on AP, see how Lasik is affecting Jameis now, so on and so forth. I feel like those two should have been people that should have been guys that you go and get. Someone with NFL experience, someone that stepped on an NFL field. I feel like that's what you need to be trying to gear up and go towards. Fuck. Go to Tennessee and go and get a quarterback that's on a fucking team that has NFL experience. All I care at this point. Go get Dalton. Dalton is available. Also, we passed up on Robbie Anderson. Why?
You also passed up on a great backup quarterback, and I don't like him as a starter. Brian Hoyer is a great backup mind.
Yep, Brian Hoyer.
Like get somebody who's not a great quarterback but knows the game and has been through it. So
no,
but Cam's not the guy. You do not want Cam there and Haskins there in the same quarterback room. That'd be terrible. I could imagine them fighting nonstop about everything.
No, I feel like honestly it would work. I feel like honestly it would work.
The thing with Cam is I don't know if he is ready to be a backup. I think he has to fail or succeed one more time. He wants that chance. Then he'll settle. But
I don't think
Dalton is a perfect. I can see him being a backup.
I don't think that he's not ready. I don't think that. And I don't think that he would be the backup if he came. If Cam or Jameis came to Washington, they're starting in Washington. Dwayne is sitting for a hot minute. Maybe a good portion of the season. Maybe he doesn't see the field at all during the season.
Oh yeah, if you bring Cam in, you're probably taking a big contract on. I don't think he's going to play for anything under $12 million, $13 million.
No. Yeah.
So you're going to play him all year, I'd imagine. Which I don't. Again, I want to see Haskins get a chance. So I really think he's the guy. You just figure it out. I don't think this should be a win now thing for the Redskins in a way of like this is the year we're going for it. Let Haskins figure it out.
We're clearly not in win now mode. Like we're clearly not in win now mode. Like if you're in win now mode, then when the second that fucking we saw the D Hop thing, we would have started calling around and be like, let's see if the Browns want to move Odell. Like we would have started getting real bold. We're not getting bold. We're being very conservative, very mediocre. I think that we're trying to get talent that we could develop, build value on that talent, and then sell that talent for better talent.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bumpy road, Redskins fans, and that's what
I
I'd
think it'll be
rather.
fine. It might be a rough year, but the NFL, like 40% of every roster turns over every year, right?
Mm,
I mean, there's always a worst to first. There's always a 2 win to like 10 win team or 2 win to 7 win team. So
yeah, yeah. And I think that we're going to talk about it later, but I think that there's a team that's going to do that this year. Um, why haven't Cam or Jameis Winston been signed yet? Is it because of the imposing physicals that I talked about?
no, no. Brady just sent his in. Had a doctor from Guerrero give him a physical and sent it in. I think the concern is there's not many spots for Cam. Let's be honest. Everybody has a young quarterback they're hoping makes it in their rookie contract, at least with 2 years left. You're not going to take Cam at that point. Unless, that's why I think the Redskins wouldn't consider it. You want to see what you have. You're not going to take Winston at this point because I think his agent's really screwing him over in a way because he's throwing out this: we want 30 million, we want these 5 years. Come on, pay us. Like, it's really hard because his agent seems like he's not willing to settle, and all these statements are coming from him. And I don't know what's happening there, but I mean, Cam is a guy I could see paying for a few years. Winston, he's on a prove it year. And I think his agent's trying to get more out of him than he can. And I could see Winston eventually ending up with the Chargers. But like again, I don't really see him getting that long term deal that he wants. He's in this like 6th year rookie contract type thing for me. I mean, you might pay him 20 million, but he has to prove it this year, and he's a backup or he's done. Like I think his least defense, he has eyesight now. You can see, no excuses. But no, but he needs to prove it. He needs one good year of football of being scot free of turnover issues, and that's what it is. And I think he's looking for too long of a deal. And if I'm a team, I would not pay him more than a year. Would you?
No.
Exactly. So, but yeah, Cam's I think gonna end up somewhere. I really do. I think it's the Chargers or somewhere like that. But Winston, man, I don't know. Like if he wants more than 1 year on that contract, I don't see a team picking him up, to be honest. And I don't blame them for not doing so.
Winston had to scale back his desires.
He
It's
asked for
like,
30 million 3 years.
yeah, it's
Like, come on, who's gonna pay him
I
that?
think that wants a lavish lifestyle, but it's like, girl, like both you and I are like in the trap right now. This doesn't work.
I mean, this is kind of a poor taste joke, but what quarterback gets banned from Uber?
It's fucked up. That was I cannot believe that you did that. Holy
Come on, man.
shit. Next topic. Um, oh my
That was
god.
good, man. You have to admit it.
That was really good, honestly. That was really, really fucking good.
Someone with money getting banned from Uber? Come on. There's no way.
A few guys from the XFL have made it into the NFL so far this year. PJ Walker, Jordan Samu, just to name a few. What does this mean for the future of the XFL?
It's huge. I think this is kind of what they really need, just a feeder system, and I think they have to convince even younger talent in a way, which this is going to be harder to do. I don't see many players leaving college at this point. Did you Kobe it?
No, it landed on a
Oh,
thing that my wife said over there.
I would have. I'll drink to that.
If it wasn't in the way, it would have
Okay.
landed in. But she has this thing like sitting across from it. So yeah, it's like
But yeah, I just don't understand like how the XFL could have any issues with this because this shows there's players that could prove themselves and get contracts, and now it's a matter of can you get somebody who plays in the XFL and can get drafted. I think that's the next step. Players are going to be willing to get their 2 year um, degree because you can get a bachelor's degree in 3 years of college.
Yeah.
with these players in the summer, and they could play a year of XFL football with their after getting their degree and get drafted still. If you can get that implemented, that'd be great. Then I think you have a great feeder league and get a year of stars. You have like a Zion Williamson type thing, where say, imagine if Clowney, after that Michigan hit, say it happened his sophomore year, he finished up that summer, went to the XFL and could get paid in sponsorships.
And that's what I'm thinking is going to be another major factor. Um, with this, that this is going to operate as a feeder system. This is super fucking positive for the XFL. Also, with that though, look for similar situations, kind of to what Kenny Richardson had went through. Kenny Richardson is now draft eligible, and he could be a XFL player that we could see for the first time in the draft a guy.
West Virginia kid, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I talked about. Yeah, he's good, man. Like 2 interceptions in one game that I saw.
Well, I know he's absolutely phenomenal on tape. But what's also impressive is the business side of his story, that he can potentially be the leading example that could break the NCAA from the inside. Um, I think that we need this to happen, and I think more importantly, we need a guy like Richardson's story to come through the NFL draft. Because if so, and if doable, and we see this already in the NBA draft, where you have kids that are playing overseas getting drafted in the same pool as college kids. It's going to make that college game a lot more competitive. You're now going to see JUCO prospects. The JUCO circuit is fucking vicious, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to, if you hear that the NFL's a meat grinder, the JUCO circuit is even more of a meat grinder. Football in general, when you reach that level after high school, football is literally all fun and games up until after high school. When you actually choose to make it a lifestyle and make it a career, it's tough. It's really tough. And especially with things that happened like today. You heard about Trevor Lawrence and his girlfriend, right?
I did not. What happened here? Oh no.
Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Rum boys and girls.
Jeez. I'm kidding.
Get ready for a rant. Get ready for a rant. This was not written on the show notes. This was not written on the script. Cheers, brother. These motherfuckers.
So what happened here?
So, I should have put this in the show notes. And I'm happy that we brought this up. And I'm happy that we're talking about how the XFL can disrupt the NCAA.
Okay. Oh, let me guess. Is it the charity thing?
Yes.
All right. So, that's crap. It said Clemson football player. It didn't even mention his name because the NCAA does not drop names. That's all I saw in the headline when I was busy killing myself coding earlier. But yeah. So it was Lawrence, the quarterback, can't make money for other people with his followers. That's hilarious.
Trevor Lawrence, I guess him and his girl, it was him and his girl together. He's following the example of what Baker and his girl did.
Was it on her account?
I don't know if it was on. I don't know if it was on her account.
If it's on her account, I don't know how they can hit him for that, because he could just show up and be like, "Please donate."
AJ, NCAA, I feel, comes up with whatever fucking rules that they want to control money.
They own his likeness. They own it.
Fuck that.
Technically.
No.
Okay. This is a fun debate. What is your likeness? What's my likeness? What is my likeness? What's your likeness? I don't know what that is. It's such a vague term. I don't understand it.
That I did not play college ball. That when I still chose to play ball after high school, this was one of the good things about my enlistment in the military. I could still fucking put on pads and legally hit a motherfucker. Okay? And not have to subject to certain rules off the field that if I want to open up a charity because I have a brand based off of my name and who the fuck I am, that can influence other people to do the right thing, NCAA, you fucked up majorly with this.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Here's my
man,
question. I'm confused by this.
he's
Does
not paying his fucking bills. He's a college kid.
I know?
He's fucking living off of
Here's my
ramen.
question. I don't, or what I don't. This is the most. This is the most political I can get here. Did you recall that everybody from president downward wanted the people paid,
Yeah.
and they got it. They passed a bill federally, pushed by the president, Congress, House, whatever, to get these people paid. Didn't that happen 2020? Supposed to happen? So why is he in trouble now? Because it's 2020. This should be an easy transfer. Like everybody said, this law is 2020. They can do what they want.
We covered this on this show
We did.
years ago. That's right, Nick. Nick is like he said, this is why I didn't play college sports. TBL or nothing. And that's what I'm talking about. Bro.
But yeah, they passed the law. The bill's passed. It's federally passed. You have to let these college athletes seek sponsorships and outside funding if they choose to.
But I think they went off that wording, and because it wasn't an outside sponsorship, and it wasn't a way that he was making money for himself off of his likeness. So therefore, it was something that he was doing it out the kindness of his heart.
Okay, so
because the positivity helped his likeness and his brand positivity.
I get it now.
Came in and they're like,
the only time you can help people in the NCAA as an athlete is when you're in those cancer hospitals with kids on camera with an NCAA logo on the bottom right of the screen. You have.
Thank you.
There
If I'm not making money off of you being a philanthropist, bro, fuck the NCAA.
You didn't do that with an NCAA logo. We don't like that. Yeah, that's great. I love it.
Look.
You should just leave Clemson. You should just be like, okay, see ya. XFL, I have my degree, I'm out.
I will cover, when sports comes back, I will cover March Madness tournaments. I will cover, major college football games. I will do scouting and draft analysis. As far as me calling college sports, the same way that I call professional sports, I feel like I'm doing a disservice to those players because they're not going to see shit.
Yeah.
So until, and this is coming from, and I want people to understand the perspective that I'm talking from too. This is coming from a former athlete. This is coming from an athlete. If I have the ability to be good enough at something to where I can make money, and you're not going to let me, fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah. My perspective comes from again, I'm not a big college sports fan in general. I was at a work party for my boss and we were watching the OSU Michigan game, and it said like how many times Justin Fields is beat up and playing on injury, and I was like, so he's a redshirt freshman. He could literally play this year. What he has, he's fine. His draft stock's solid. Come back next year. And just Fields to me is a great prospect with what he can do on the field. Great arm, great everything. I'm like, you're gonna have this dude play through injury for his likeness, and no, if I were him, I'd be like, no, I'm done. I'm leaving because I can make money. I can rest. I can sit. I proved my draft stock this year. I'm done. I'll come back next year and try to win. But like everyone's like, oh, come back. He'll be back in the game. I'm like, why would he come back into the game? He's not getting paid for this. He's a top 10 pick when he leaves. Like
culture. That's football culture. We're us as players. We're bred that way. To be there for our guys, to be there for the team, to be there for the locker room. There's a big camaraderie factor and a lot of emotions.
But that's forced too. That is something they put in your head in the NCAA because I'm there because the only people I'm going to see for 4 years is these 50 guys I'm teammates with in college. And it's like I have to do it for them. No, you don't. You're a top 10 pick. You don't have to do this for them.
For the moment of Pop Warner, bro, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. That was put in and instilled in me from the moment that I picked up the helmet. From the very, very, very moment that I put on my very first pair of pads. You're here for the team. You're here for your brothers. This locker room. This is your family now. Fuck everything else on the outside, and that's the way that football is. It's a camaraderie driven, very
It's the ultimate team sport.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the ultimate.
One star player means nothing. Brady can fall apart if his left guard and left tackle get hurt, and he'll get sacked 85 times next year. Does
Speaking
not matter.
speaking of which, you brought up Brady. I mean, we started talking about
Oh yeah,
and
that's not a topic today, but yeah,
yeah, no, this isn't a topic, but I mean, dude, I want to talk about Patrick Mahomes' upcoming contract. I mean,
blank
he,
check.
yeah, right now he's staring at a blank check. What do you think that Mahomes does? Like, are you leaning towards
They paid
him?
Kelsey. They paid Hill. Right?
Yeah,
Take what you want, man. They paid your guys. You'll figure it out. Your defense is a turnover based defense until the playoffs when they decided to light it up, which is amazing. Great for them. Mostly in second halves because they were behind. But yeah, at this point, man, you signed your weapons. You signed the guys I think you're going to be roommates with and friends with on the road for a while. Just take your money.
yeah. I
Please.
mean,
Like, you signed your two weapons and you have the best quarterback, in my opinion, the most talented quarterback I've ever seen.
and I
Behind
want
Aaron.
to know
It
something.
was previously behind Aaron Rodgers. I think the most talented quarterback I've seen is now Mahomes. Those two are the two most talented guys. The best quarterback in football is Mahomes. Take your money. Your weapons are there. Cash in for the next 6 years, 5 years, whatever.
And I want to point out something special. The Chiefs, I don't know if you guys follow any of their players or staff on like Instagram or Twitter. Me, I'm very big on following teams. They're not just their players, but like well, I want to know what the third string tight end is doing. I want to know what the relationship between them and their agents are like. I try and get to know every angle of the industry. And what I find fascinating in research with the Kansas City Chiefs is that the Kansas City Chiefs treat football, and they've always done this. They treat
Andy
it
Reid
like,
specifically, he's always done this.
yeah, they treat it like how baseball does with farm systems. And the Chiefs and Andy Reid specifically are very quiet about what talent is breeding underneath the talent that's already at the surface. So you don't really know who the fuck the next superstar is. And I think that we saw this recently in free agency today where Bell, the backup tight end, had moved. And I was hoping it wasn't forced. And I was like, please don't be forced in the backup tight end there because I really like him in Kansas City. Like he can, if Kelsey ever gets injured, he can mirror Kelsey a lot. That wasn't the case. So I mean, what I'm trying to get at is Kansas City is a very smart organization. They can afford, unlike many other teams in the past, to pay Mahomes because they are farming in house, unlike what other NFL teams are really doing. I think the Redskins are trying to now do that. And that's what I was trying to hint earlier in my take earlier about them.
Yeah, it comes down to having that quarterback who can never underthrow anybody with his arm. You can never have too much speed. It could always breed speed into talent. So
Dude.
they have a farm system forever. Find speed, and Mahomes has weapons.
And then they were the second team. They were the second team to exercise the XFL free agency option.
Oh yeah.
And then for Jordan Tanu, who else outside of Jordan Love in the NCAA do you see mirroring Patrick Mahomes, especially for your defense in practice?
Yeah.
So you're developing your defense, and then on top of that, you have a guy that's probably going to replicate every fucking thing that Patty is possibly on. And who better to learn? Who better than to learn
Yeah.
from Patty than Jordan? I mean, we see how smart the kid was with the battle on.
Yeah. That system they have going is absolutely perfect, and that's why I really do see the enemy getting the job sooner. I think Reed's going to leave soon, and I think he wants to give the job away to him. And I think it's a coach in waiting spot right now, without being stated.
Hot take. I love that.
I don't see anyone else taking that job. I mean, you cannot let the dude that built Mahomes in the film room and knows him more than anybody else leave. I don't see a way you can do it at this point. And Mahomes won't let it happen either, I don't think. I think he's like, bring this guy in. You know what I could do? I'll make it work.
Well, do you think that Mahomes was in on the Donald decision for backup?
Um, I don't think so. I think he's constantly in talks getting his contract figured out personally.
Well,
Because
Mahomes
I think he's getting paid before next year, guaranteed. I don't see them keeping on the rookie contract this year. If I'm his agent, there's no way you do.
you
No
you
way you let him go.
you can't win with a guy on his rookie contract and not reward him.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and then on top of that, I think he may have had a little something to do with it. He was like, I feel like that's a kid that could help us, you know.
Yeah.
He doesn't strike me as the guy to be like, what the fuck we need a backup for? Like,
If there's a player in the NFL who does not feel threatened with the spot, it is Patrick Mahomes.
exactly.
There's no reason to feel any threat.
I just love everything that's happening with that organization, the chemistry that they're building. And like I said, they're farming guys. Like they're building up players. They're doing what they gotta do.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at their backs. They're all replacing each other, and they're all getting paid and then going somewhere else. But in the same way, it's like they're always finding talent to replace the talent they lose.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I want to get into the next topic, but I'm sorry that we went off a cuff there.
Oh, it's
Um,
fine. It's a podcast, man.
exactly. This is what we have to do,
No
man.
time constraints.
No time constraints. Make sure you guys check us out on rumboys.com if you haven't already. Billy. Um, by how many games do you see the Miami Dolphins improving uh, by following this free agency time period? They made a lot of moves defensively, and then not just to mention them building on defense. It looks like that more and more that I look into this, Tua could be a guy there for them. And if you don't get Tua in Miami, you could go get Jordan Love. What are your thoughts?
So if you're gonna take Tua, I don't think he's the guy that you really would expect to bring you wins. Now, you're gonna redshirt him this year. I would be shocked if you let him play next year. Just let him recover. Hip injuries are not something you want in a quarterback. Um, I could see them winning maybe 8 games this year. I think they're gonna stick with Fitzpatrick, ideally all year, and just build. And if they're taking a quarterback, I think Love and Tua both need a year. Tua needs a year to recover, I think. Love, I think they want to have learn a year because he's made some bad choices in college on the field. When it comes to throwing into coverage, he doesn't see coverage as well. Turnover machine. Again, he could be a Matt Ryan and clean it up in the NFL and have a really good 10 years where it's like, how do you throw 20 interceptions in college? It's amazing, but at this point, I think their plan is to have Fitzmagic play, and I think Fitzmagic can get him 7, 8 wins next year.
That's a pretty fucking bold prediction. You came with a hot take today. You gave
Is it a hot take? I mean,
That's
Fitzmagic's
a
like
hot
50-50, man. I mean, he has like 6 to 8 good games a year, then he has 8
okay.
guaranteed explosively bad games bad a year.
32 organizations in the league, and if any organizations in the league are built like the Miami Dolphins, and they got this guy at QB, and you bring in Tua Tagovailoa, and you do not start Tua, I think that you're intoxicated. You're intoxicated.
His health, though, man. You dislocate your hip. Like, that's one of those things. You have to really build that body back up. Like, that scares me.
Yo, shout out, excuse how I put this, Jag off sports.
I think it was a pun.
I think it is fun, and I like that. I like that as a fucking as a company name. He said, I love to tune in just to see you guys rip shots. Do the fans in Miami like Fitzmagic? I know you had a bad season, but he's such a lovable guy. So I'm not a Dolphins fan, luckily.
I like Fitz, dude. I think he's a starting quarterback who's like 16 to 20 every year if you give him a year. and that's his peak. He'll be really bad, he get benched, but I think he can give you 7 to 8 wins, and that's fine. I don't think they want much more, to be honest. I think they do want to rebuild, but if you're taking Tua, let that dude get his body together. You can't get injured on both legs in college, and then your hip injury
So
your junior year. You need to get your body right. And I'm concerned that if Tua comes in now, his body cannot take the NFL. It can't take the SEC. So
so really quick story time. I remember me and Ty Boogie, we had just started the Rum Boys Fantasy Network, and like, of course, when you just start, especially like on YouTube, like you don't have like a whole lot of subs, right? You're hoping that subs can help get you sponsors, get you people like sportscasters, shit like that. But anyways, like I think we were at like 310 subs, and we had lost 10 subs right after we were an upload channel back then, upload only. Now we do lives and stuff, but we were an upload only channel back then, and I went on air and I had told pretty much everybody, I was like, yo, you're only gonna get. I was like, I told them, I was like, you remember I told you guys 2 weeks ago before the season, or 2 weeks ago that you're only gonna get 2 games out of Fitz Magic, and that it's done. I was like, now look at all of you guys now, and people fucking unfollowed, unsubscribed. Bad. It was bad.
and by the way, I picked a 2 to 3 win improvement. Is that so crazy? They won 5 games last year. Remember?
I don't think that it's Fitz Magic that leads them, but I do think that
I think he plays next year, regardless what they do. I really do.
no, I don't think that I think that it's going to be whatever quarterback they draft. And I have Miami winning 7 games.
Okay, so you have one more, or what? You have one less win than I do. I mean, that's not really a hot take because I said 7 to 8 wins.
Jagoff said, by the way, Jagoff is a common term. People call each other in Pittsburgh, which is where I'm from. Hell yeah, dude. I love it. Let's get into the next topic, bro. The Eagles made some noise not once but twice this year defensively in terms of free agency improvement. The Eagles now have Darius Slay and Nikhil Roby-Coleman. Looks like the NFC East is going to have a tough time in Philly this year. With the corners taken care of and Sanders in the backfield, should they just focus on receiver now in the draft? What's the Phillies start doing right now? I mean, it sounds like the defense is locked up. They need to stop thinking about that.
Their D line was paid earlier. They're aging, so they're kind of stuck with those contracts. Obviously, the defensive backfield's absolutely set, and I do not see any way they don't go receiver heavy. And I don't care what receivers left. I don't know really. I don't think anyone knows what the NFL execs think of these certain players. So at this point, I would imagine they take the top talent on their board for at receiver for 2 picks to start the draft, or 2 of their top 3 picks. There's no way they don't. They're gonna have to rebuild this from the start. They paid Carson Wentz. Same thing with Wilson. You have to gut the team. You pay the quarterback, and then you rebuild receivers who know Carson really well, like they knew Russell Wilson well. You're just gonna rebuild that team with receivers that, in this case, Carson Wentz gets timing with, just like Russell Wilson built time with. Seattle has the perfect model of rebuilding the receiving core with the quarterback after you pay them, and let the quarterback work with them, because obviously you're not going to sign a big name receiver right now with the contract you gave Carson Wentz. There's no way. You're working the draft heavy.
Not just that, brother. Hang on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead before this shit even.
You're correct. Malcolm Jenkins is You're correct. Malcolm Jenkins was not mentioned for reasons.
1 second, bro. I just gotta get us set up over here on the Spotify before I begin my tape.
Yeah, you're gonna kind of die. Kind of froze up a second.
Alrighty, no. But no, what I was gonna say, in regards to this particular topic, for the Eagles fans out there that watch our show, I mean, you guys gotta go. You gotta go receiver. and then maybe you go and you get well, unless you're going to trust Boston Scott as a second back, which I don't actually mind for you guys trusting Boston Scott as your second back. I think if you just got to go super wide receiver heavy and line heavy, and maybe even add a third guy, a third young tight end into that tight end room so that he can be learning film underneath
Yeah.
both Ertz and Goddard.
There's one hole we're missing hugely. We have a 38-year-old left tackle. If you're an Eagles fan, who's probably not going to come back.
So then you gotta go.
Peters, man. I mean, that's tough. But they're not drafting early enough to take the top left tackles. I mean, the run on tackles is probably like up to 9, and then you're pretty much taking a flyer. So, I mean, you have to replace Peters. You need to, because that dude's 38 and he hardly got through last season.
So if I'm the Eagles, I'm looking at a downslope on Alshon Jeffrey. Like he got injured again last. I'm looking at maybe I can get lucky and I can move Deshaun Jackson for some shit. Um, gotta go receiver. Rubs, Mims, like Luce just said in
Yep.
chat.
Whoever's left and whoever your top guys left, man, they're going to be crazy changes we can't predict. But
Exactly.
man, that left tackle, man, with Wentz's health problems, you have to secure that.
Yep, you
Because
got it.
unless you want a 39-year-old Peters coming back, I would not want that at any point. Or
Um,
37-year-old or something. I don't know what he is, but I know he's late 30s.
if you're Philly, you're realistically replacing two receivers. Like you're looking to try and replace two receivers. Um, JJ Arcee on the white side. I'm going in and I'm expecting high hopes out of him, and I'm trying to like really like if I'm the Eagles, I'm really trying to farm that guy and build him up. To be like, hey, dude, like you saw what the fuck happened last year. Like you gotta be here. Like we gotta make sure that you're healthy. Um, so that's what I'm expecting to see there on that front. It's sort of the farm Arcega Whiteside. They're either going to move on past Jeffrey or Jackson. You can't at this point. You can't keep both. It's too detrimental for your chances at playoff when you're in season and those guys are on the field. If those guys are on the field, they go down and you have to bring in a flyer off the bench. You're fucked.
But, I mean, if I'm a fantasy player, I'm taking any flyer I can get with Carson Wentz because that dude works with nothing and is
Nothing.
scary good.
Yeah. No.
And again, okay, I think everyone on our panel on After Dark, whoever you find, is a Carson Wentz guy. I think we do like him as a quarterback when he's healthy. We admit the health issues, but yeah, I mean that guy has worked a lot. I think left tackle's huge. I don't know what they're gonna do because I mean they're gonna find a gem in the third round because you're not gonna take one in the first, late first. I don't see anybody there worth taking at that spot. So you're gonna have to find a steal, or you're gonna have to work from the right side of the Zach. Yes, Zach Ertz is still there. Yeah, but he's a touchdown guy. He's not a 20 to 20 guy.
No. Absolutely.
And if you're relying on Zach Ertz as your guy that's going to get you 100 catches, good luck because you do not want that guy as your main receiver.
Well, Dallas Goddard has also stepped a lot in that role, and I
Oh
worry.
yeah, man, they have two. They have two of the typical white tight ends, as I say.
Yeah, I'm not trying to go out there and get Zach Ertz this year because of the fear that he could get hurt in that offense, with as much as he played already through injury last year, and Dallas Goddard being able to have the ability to step in and really be a
His role is being replaced very slowly. I could tell in the next 2 years there's going to be a complete transfer. I feel like.
um we are through our first hour of content. We're gonna get into some final topics here. I'm gonna let you go ahead, fucking go break the seal, and then I'm gonna
I'm
also go
good, man.
get
I'm
this thing.
good.
So I gotta go piss. So I'm gonna piss really quick. Play some music, and we will be right back with you guys here on the Rum Boys Fantasy Network. Yeah, yeah. Ace on the beat. It's going down. Boys Fantasy Network. We give you your worth of all that sports content that you love. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. What is good? What is good? We are back. Yes, who's back again. The Rum Boys back. Tell your friends. Make sure that you guys do share on all social media. We try and get more subscribers to come to the channel. We're almost about like 22 away from 2K on YouTube. We are so close. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Sing with me, Jake. Oh, Lord. And I've been waiting for this moment for all my life.
So what's our plan, man?
I'm going to keep my day job.
So what's our plan for the 2K stream?
We haven't figured that out yet. We are going to figure that out.
And I won't be playing 2K, by the way, because that franchise is absolutely dead.
I just got an offer to where I will be calling some esports for you guys, and then we're going to call it esports first, and then we'll play the actual game and see how it turns out in real life. So I'll call the esports version, then I got to flip over and call the real version. So that's going to be interesting as fuck to do during this quarantine period. Hey, yo, OJ getting chased in a Bronco is on ESPN right now. Coverage of Topper #2. That was such a great moment in my life. Not great for the poor little white woman that got killed, but
he's innocent.
I know. No. If the glove does not fit, you must acquit.
And that glove clearly fit, and he pretended like it didn't, and it was hilarious. Hey man, he got his though, man. That dude has been broke ever since, and I think every cent he's ever made has gone to somewhere else.
But nah, dude, like yo.
Oh, Robbie would never call Fortnite. Fortnite is too low to call.
OJ putting on that glove reminded me of homie from fucking Scary Movie 2. Take my strong hand. and then fucking and like fear fucking a girl, bro. Like that's what it reminded me of, bro. Like it was like OJ trying to put on that glove was like,
Dude, see, here's the thing. He held the glove up like this, like it wouldn't fit, and slipped it on like it did fit. And that's like, oh, it doesn't fit. Like, I could tell it doesn't fit. See? It fits you, dude. And it was sitting in freaking ice to hold the DNA evidence. So that's why it shrunk on you. But
Jay, say it with me. If the glove does
don't
not fit,
fit. You must have
you
quit.
must quit.
For real though, R.I.P. Robert Cochran, because you were a great attorney that got a lot of people who probably shouldn't have gotten off
Yo,
serious crimes.
fucking shout out to Johnny Cochran, bro. Yo, his firm was in DC, and I remember like the first time I got in some real trouble. He had just passed. I was like, damn, I guess I'm not spending this money on a lawyer here. I was like, I'm fucked.
Dude.
It was for a little petty weed charge back in the day when weed was illegal. There was yes, kids. There was a point in time when that did happen. Let's get back into the rest of the fucking show, though. Mm. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the rum boys and girls. What a dude, dilly dilly. So
This Corona's rough, man. This Corona's rough. It's not good.
that is not a cool way to segue into the next topic. Holy fuck.
Hey,
So
I mean this, not the real thing.
so first things first, how have you been doing your part, Jake, during this whole pandemic that we're all dealing with? What have you been doing to do your part?
I work from home at this point, which is cool. And if I have to go somewhere, it's like 7 a.m. to like 8:15. That's about it.
Okay, so are you guys
And all that stuff is the grocery store. So we're on mandatory shutdown statewide. So the only thing is a gas station or a grocery store. So everything's pretty much shut down besides takeout, gas station, and grocery stores. So
how
we're
are
like
how
on,
are actions going for you?
yeah, it's going.
It's going. It's like, fuck.
Um,
You have enough
hey
focus.
man, to be real with you, I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing, a lot of Pokemon, a lot of Witcher, and watching a lot of anime. And I'll literally just being a nerd like I am. So I will, yes, I will kill it on that.
Have you missed being on air?
Hmm?
Have you missed being on air?
Yeah, I mean for sure.
I miss friends. Like so
Um,
what's the one thing that you miss the most during this whole period of stay at home, hashtag social distancing, quarantine life, quarantine and chill, whatever you want to call it? What do you call this period? And what do you miss the most about normal life?
so this usual like stress-free area where I just like watch anime, play video games, and have fun has become my work area. So like I walk in here at a certain time and it's like, oh, okay, this is what it is now. It's 9 hours of coding Excel sheets, GIS mapping, looking at complicated codes, and like trying to figure out how to make it look good and sending it to people. I'm like, this is like my 9 hour a day thing now where I have to be here, so it's not near as relaxing. You know what I mean? It's like I come in here, it's like, okay, cool, I'm done with this stream. I think like I'm gonna get ahead and do this ahead for tomorrow. I don't have to. I'm not working, but this is like my office now. So when I'm in here, I think this is my office. So I'm thinking about work tomorrow right now, which is one thing. Like I'm thinking about what I have to do.
That's a crime, Jake. That's a
Okay.
crime. You're off the clock. You're off, you're off your real clock.
No, I know, but it's weird because like I'm sitting here tomorrow. It's like, well, I'm gonna be here tomorrow at this time, making this edit, sending it to this certain person in office, working with it. So they have to tell the people this gonna be written about in the papers, and like they're gonna show the local cases because I'm tracking coronavirus constantly.
I know.
That's the thing I'm doing. So it's like I'm stressed about it because I know there's more. I'm like I'm gonna have to add this many counties to it, do this, run this equation, run this time slider, because it's like okay, I'm just thinking nonstop about how terrible it is. So
Right?
like this relaxing area has become my work area. So it's like a just no. I want to go back to the office, make that where I'm stressed out, and make this where I chill.
You should do a three-part series until Khabib and Ferguson is official. You should do like a three-part series of your top 10 fighters and just relive the good old days with the fans.
Hey man, that was last Saturday, man, right?
Yeah, yeah,
For
they
sure.
streamed all of that. Yeah, for sure. Or they played all that for sure on ESPN.
Tito and Chuck. Not great
Um,
MMA today, but it was great for its time.
Fuck yeah. For me personally, what I've been doing to do my part, I've been keeping my black ass inside. I'm gonna be honest. I've been keeping my ass inside, been limiting as much interaction as possible. I'm gonna be fucking completely real. Like not having social interaction. I don't know, the feeling of some poor first grade teacher on a Saturday night backing that ass up on you at a local bar is just something that I miss. Um, the feeling of having a cold one with the crew, with the boys. And not, I mean, of course, I love you guys, but we work together, I mean, my friends outside of the office, outside of my job, outside of being the CEO of Rum Fancy Network, um, I miss I miss the sound of when I wake up after a long night of a hangover, opening up my Snapchat and drunk women going, "Hey!" And it's just like women walking out with like bottles with sparklers in it. It's just a good time, and it's just life being there. I miss my kid being at school and me not having to be the teacher because that fucking sucks. Teachers are special, and there's a reason why they're teachers, and us as parents aren't. So there's a lot of things that I miss. The sound of the sound of wood cracking and cracker jack snacking at an opening day. Opening day here in Colorado when the Rockies play. That is the season of hostilities. There's a lot that I miss, and they all surround around sundress season. So my heart's broken, to be honest, Jake.
Yeah, I mean it's a weird thing now because I miss having the option to go places, but I never went before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know me, I don't go out, man. I mean, if I were to get a pour of this, man, it'd be like $7.95. I'm not gonna go out for that. So, and I won't find it most likely. So it's one of those things where it's like I miss having the option just to go out and just hang out with people if I had it.
Like,
Plus, I mean, I still haven't had my birthday party from work because of this whole thing. We've kind of like prepared from it to begin with. And I kind of miss being able to bet on sports. It's gonna be super
so,
real.
hey, Bruce, we covered your Miami Dolphins earlier, man. So I hope that you check that out.
Yeah,
Um,
but I miss being able to like just bet on sports, and I miss the tournament. So
dude,
there, but I'm past that. That's one of those things. Hey, it happened. Like
who,
I'm not going to
who
complain
would have
now.
won the tournament had you put it
Oof.
all in?
Who would have won the tournament? I mean, I was kind of. I had two. I bet 15, and it would have been if San Diego State won. I would have won 390 because, again, the odds are crazy. It was before the selection Sunday, and I bet Duke as well, and I still would have won like 135, I think. So
Well,
those were early. It was like pre everything, pre picking the teams that never really released. So
this was going to be the first year that I was going to go underdogs, and I was going to go Dayton, San Diego State. Like I was going to go underdog straight up.
yeah, man, 28-1.
So I was ready. I was ready. I was like, yo, I'm gonna kill him this year. Like it is what it is. Let's get into another serious topic though. We do want to make sure that here on this show, we want to make sure that you guys understand how serious this whole fucking situation is. Like to be honest, stay your asses at home. Um, we are purposely coming to you guys with content every day with the intention of we're going through the same thing as everything else. And here on our end, I always like to make sure that as a company, we're always on the right side of history. Um, and that's how you go down and you're remembered. So we've been practicing social distancing. We're coming to you guys with all of our stories about practicing social distancing. Do the same thing. For anyone and everyone out there that's still thinking, oh well, like I'm still gonna go fucking enjoy my spring break, go get drunk on the beach, and go get laid by some fucking college frat boy or some college sorority chick. Just stop. Just shut the fuck up and stop. Um, think about it. Think about it as if Ronaldo. I know I blew out my mic. I blew out my mic. Well, I didn't blow out my mic, but I fucked up the cord for it. But so I gotta get. I'm getting a whole new mic set up here in the next like week or so. But no. What I want to really focus on and why I'm saying this is like think of someone affected by COVID-19 as someone close to you. Think of that
Yep.
as grandma. Think of that as like your young kid or something like that. Um, Carl Anthony Towns posted a very strong message.
Yep. His mom's in critical, right?
Yeah, his mom is in critical condition, has now reached the point where she's in a coma. Imagine if that is your mom.
See, what's weird is it might be the last time I watched ESPN because, again, my gamer side loved to watch his collection of N64 and PS1 and Super Nintendo games. But yeah, I mean, I saw his mom, and it's like one of those things like I don't know her, but it's like a weird thing where it's like, yeah, she was on camera enjoying her life 4 years ago, and this just happened to her. So, I mean, it's terrible, but again, it does hit that age range. So I don't know what else to really say about it. It's awful situation for him and everyone else, but yeah, man, like she was a big thing on ESPN. So I mean, I remember him showing off everything, and it's like, well, she was there being smiley, happy, and then it can happen to anybody. So
Testing. Can you hear me?
you're good, man.
Alrighty, hang
Hey,
on.
guys, chat. Can you tell us if he's still echoing?
As long as you're able to hear me, if you can hear me loud and clear, then we're good.
Okay.
No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, and I want people to think about what Jake just realistically said. Um,
Like we didn't know her, but we've seen her on stream or on a camera, happy, smiling, making her son cookies and stuff for the road and as he went to his place, right, for a game. And then it's like 2 years later, it's like, well, you know, I mean, it hits everybody, and it's hitting
absolutely.
everybody too, man. It used to be, it just hit men mostly, like 70-80%. Now it's like 50-50, right on.
I mean,
So
and I don't want people to get misconstrued. For us as reporters, this isn't the stuff that we want to, report on and we want to bring to you and we want to bring into your homes. But for us as reporters, we do have a job and we do have to do something in terms of educating people and just making sure that we're fighting fight. You know, we do have a responsibility.
and to lighten the mood, you can troll me. It's cool. I need a haircut, and I can't get one.
I need one
So
too, dude. I'm about to hit up my barber. Like, dog. So we doing this like we back in the hood, bro. Like, are you coming
dude,
to my porch? You
this
cut
is
me on
getting
my
bad.
porch.
The beard's looking homeless. At this point, it's just not getting cut. So yeah, um, at this point, yeah, we need haircuts, and it's not gonna happen anytime soon. Well, in my state, April 7th looks like it's gonna be open. We're for non-essential businesses, so I got about 11 days to wait. But yeah, this is getting pretty bad, and I don't have white person hair. So,
No,
as Robbie would say, I don't have white person hair. I have. I'm not saying it, but
you got nigga hair.
yeah, I'm not. It's all so uneven too. That's the worst part. It grows on
It
that side.
is.
It
It
grows on
is.
one side of my head, in my head. So like, I'm waiting like right there for this to catch up, and it won't.
Look, coworker to coworker, I love you, but sometimes that shit annoys me.
My
I'm like,
hair?
damn it! It's,
What?
he's getting freaking Wolverine style again. I'm
My
doing it.
beard?
So. No, your hair really.
Because my beard's always just yeah. Well, I haven't trimmed it for a minute. That's why it's getting out of hand right now.
Yo, beard maintenance is a must. My shit is getting out of control. I'm like, fuck. Let's continue moving.
See, the thing with mine is it grows in full. It just grows out, and I'm just like, I'm not cutting it myself. Someone else is.
Yeah, someone
So
else.
it's gonna work its way out. It's been like 4 weeks
Someone
this bad.
always, always, always. I trust my barber with my life.
Good for you, Blake
Um,
Sinclair. I wish I can grow long hair. We can't. If we grew long hair, it'd be bad.
hmm
If I didn't cut my hair for 2 years, it would be Anderson Varejao. That's not happening.
Yo, he's over here looking like the second coming of Wolverine. I'm looking like one of the members of Jackson 5. You don't want those problems.
Maybe I
Um,
should go Wolverine. I should just like go sideburns instead of full beard, like cut right
mutton
there.
chops. Go mutton chops.
Oh yeah, I'll cut like right there, right here. You know, that would not happen.
You fucker. Um, Real Madrid star Luka Jovic faces jail time in Spain after breaking quarantine order to see his model girlfriend. Stay your ass at home or nah?
I mean, I don't know how Spain's doing things. I understand that the U.S. can't really put sanctions on that, even at the state level or local level. I would have to know exactly what the law was. Um, and first of all, if you're gonna do that, you should know the curfew, right? Um, you have a 9 o'clock curfew. Where you're at, you stay. Isn't this common sense? I'm pretty sure if it's a curfew, you go right before the curfew and you could be there. Um, so this is dumb on his part and probably a government that is more powerful than ours. So I can't really speak on it besides you probably knew there was a curfew and you probably didn't follow it. And you probably know your government can actually do this. So it's probably on you to know this. And it's not good for you, but I can't really not criticize you because you know the rules, you know the law in place. You should probably follow it. I don't agree with it, but you should probably know what would have happened because I'm sure they followed the law they had. You know,
I feel like that must have been some good ill nana for him to sneak out and get caught past curfew. Like even if you snuck out early, bro, that means you got caught up there and you like hit that joint two, three more times.
it doesn't
And
matter when you leave; it matters where you're at. That's the rule here, right?
exactly,
It's not when you leave, and you have to be at a certain spot, and you have to have a reason to be there. And at 9 o'clock or whatever curfew it is, you have to have a reason why you're there. And if you're not there, you're back. I mean, it's
bro. You should have kept your ass either A inside and made her quarantine and chill with you, or which you should be doing because you're an athlete, you're a soccer star. Or B, you should just quarantine and chill there for the night and just kept clapping cheeks. There was no need for you to go out. Now you facing jail time or either a fine in Spain of all places. And
it's a
that,
fine. Let's be real. He's not going to do anything. It's a
yeah.
fine.
But I mean, I
It's gonna
would
be
not.
euros, whatever they're gonna do.
I ain't
I
fucking
know
around.
euros. I know Spain split. They do like different currency. Euros is generally most of it, but the cool part, depending on where he was, might not be. But yeah, it's
What's with the curfew? It's not like Corona only goes out after dark.
they have to treat the air and treat everything in on the streets so you don't touch it. Basically, they have to spray it down and kill bacteria. And yes, if you're out, they'll probably spray a person.
It's
And
just
not
all.
the again, not in the U.S. It's not like that here.
Also, it's just
And
helping flatten the curve. It's just helping to flatten the curve.
and we have spring breakers who don't care and are ruining everything for us. So
Um, the Olympics being postponed, bro. Should they have? Did they take too long to do this? Yeah, it takes too
well,
long to do it.
so I laughed the second I heard they had to cancel it because Canada dropped out.
Well,
Um,
they had to cancel it before then, anyways.
exactly. It took a country to drop out of it, right? Um, to me, it's like an issue of I don't think the 4 year cycle is as important as it used to be, and at this point, I could just see, okay, fine, we're gonna have the next one in 4 years, and it's gonna be a 3 year gap, and then we're gonna correct it later. I don't really see a problem in moving it. And I don't think the 4 year gap between summer and winter is that big of a deal. And if you want to do a 4 year gap, that's fine too. But obviously, you're going to move it because there's some countries not affected, some countries not testing, and you have to deal with it as it goes. So I don't really see any other way. Like it should have been moved immediately after Italy is in the Olympics, and you realize that's the worst spot for Corona.
No, dude, definitely. Well, definitely and absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Um, with that said, with that being stated,
2 year gap? Whoa, Blake St. Clair said 2 year gap. He thinks it's gonna go 2022. I don't see that. Um, oh, is it a 2 year gap? Is it?
it's a four
Okay,
year.
it's a okay, yeah. It's a 4 year gap between the summer and summer. I think this might be a 3 year gap.
Yeah, for the winter.
I think it's gonna be winter 3 year at this point.
I mean, we'll see how it plays out.
Because winter's coming up, right? I feel like I'm dumb in saying that. I think it's summer though.
For any country to feel like they have flattened the curve on this,
No.
they've gotten ahead on this. All the evidence has shown us that we're all fucking wrong. We're all wrong. None of us have
Hey,
gotten
China
ahead.
let their workers back into everything. They're all back in. Mostly it's a art country with video games and stuff and anime. Guess what? Spiked up again. Just imagine in the U.S. when all the kids go back to school, spike instantly. So I
We
mean, we're expecting a spike. It's just we're gonna manage the spike. We get the people who need the care the most out of it, the elderly, and then the spike can happen to people like us. We just get sick for a few days. But yeah, I mean, you can't have it. There's no way. It
no.
makes zero sense.
I mean, swimmers swimming in pools together, and
Yeah.
weightlifters throwing the same weights, gymnastics members touching the same mats. We just gotta do what we gotta do, and this is what we have
Wrestling? I
to do.
mean, come on, man. You can't do wrestling right now.
No, no, dude, I so wanted to cover some Olympics, especially Summer Olympics. Um,
They're the fun ones too, yeah. Because I feel like winter's all Sean White whenever he decides to show up, and then everything else nobody cares. You have that Katie girl from the women's U.S. team who's
no
really
one
good
gives
too.
a talk about the Winter Olympics. We care about
And you're near Aspen, and you're saying that. That's the sad part. You're like the X Games winter like capital, and you just don't care.
no. So I mean, not with that, not moving and grooving with that. I don't like it. It took them so long, but I get the aspect of them taking so long, and the aspect of these
Well,
athletes.
country pulls out, you have to. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think it was gonna happen, and that's fine. I mean, I don't think these athletes like having a 4 year break, right? I think they wish they could compete every
no,
year.
because the athletes. That's actually what I was going to say. The athletes, they're training for a whole specific time period for their bodies to get right and manage to perform at that peak period.
Right.
And now it's thrown off cycle.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. It's what it is. I'm not gonna lie. I watched Michael Phelps get the 8 medals, and that's about it in the Olympics. And I watched some USA basketball in the Redeem team.
Yep, the dream team, the redeem team. Yep, the redeem
And
team.
other than that, man, I mean the Olympics kind of bore me. I think it's the announcers that just kind of kill it for me.
Oh, the announcers suck ass in the Olympics. We're not even going to
It's
front.
pretty bad, man. I can't defend
I'm
it.
not sitting there and act
I'd
like,
rather watch tennis than the Olympics, which says a
yeah.
lot.
No, the Olympics commentators. Um, I hate to say that as a play specialist that I'm colleagues with those guys. It's like complete misrepresentation. Let's go ahead. We're going to get into our final topic now here for the night. Um, and I apologize just one second. Um, the greatest athlete of all time. Who do you have as the greatest athlete of all time, bro?
So I thought about this a lot, and I went between physical ability versus just natural like production in that sport. And like I said, the Olympics, man. I have to go Phelps. In his sport, because I could go physical ability, he could do much else. He dominated 4 Olympics
Keep going.
at that point, and 23 golds. It's really hard to say that he's not some of the top. And I wanted to say LeBron, obviously. He's probably my favorite athlete of all time, but at the same time, there's debate there. I don't think you can debate that the most dominant athlete in the world at his sport is not Michael Phelps for a very long period of time. So that's my take on that. And I'll let Robbie come in and maybe counter, but I mean, and I have to go if I'm not going to have him as maybe Jesse Owens as well. Like, it's one of those things where everybody compares with the U.S. If you're going to compete against the world, as somebody who doesn't watch it much, you have to see who's the best in the world and who's the best athlete at what a sport is considered worldwide is. Because I could say football is Brady, even though he's not a great athlete, but it doesn't make sense to have Brady as a top athlete to me because only the U.S. plays football. I have to go Olympics. I'm going to say top athlete in the world
Um,
of all time, by the way. I have Phelps. I have to. And what he's doing, he dominated the world competition for 4 cycles. I don't know who could beat that.
I gotta go against you, and I gotta go with the man that's pictured here,
Ali?
and Muhammad Ali. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's so opposite, I know.
No, I have to go with Muhammad Ali. I feel like Muhammad Ali was such a practitioner, and such a technician of his sport. He worked harder, and even outside that ring, had that swagger, had that gift of gab as well, to where he could sell his business. To where I think he
Yeah.
already placed you out before he stepped into the ring. Um, I think that Ali is the greatest heavyweight that we've ever seen, the greatest boxer that we've ever seen, the epitome of boxing. It is what you wish that you could be in terms of boxing. It's what you wish you could be in terms of an athlete. I don't know a single athlete that does look at Muhammad Ali as one of the top guys to ever do what an athlete has ever done in their sport.
Yep.
Um, I gotta go. I gotta go Ali.
See, notice a trend there. We both picked global sports for very good reason. We did
Yeah,
not pick LeBron, Jordan, Brady because we know there's athletes that could do it. We went combat sports and we went Olympics because people will say Brady's that U.S. athlete. He is, but at the same time, it's very hard to say he's a top guy because if you look at it, no one else plays football. It just doesn't make sense to compare him to the rest of the world. And if you look at LeBron, I'm sorry, the U.S. is still better at basketball. If you're a LeBron or Jordan guy, it doesn't matter. It's pretty even at this point. The U.S. is better at basketball. You can't say they're the best at what they do because the rest of the world is not adapted at
I
that
have a
level.
better chance of finding someone
Yeah.
in their prime that could probably compete with LeBron, on a
Physically, yeah, for sure.
yeah, than me finding someone that's gonna compete with
Or,
Ali.
or Phelps, right? Like, it's one of those things like these guys are just better than everyone else. And everyone does this sport. This is a sanctioned event for the worldwide talent to see.
I
Okay, the thing with Floyd, and I think his Money Mayweather thing hurts him on this one. I think the business side of Floyd has hit him to the point where it's like he takes fights. It's just people see the money, and he sees where the money is the best, and he has the best chance to win. And I think the Money Mayweather is more of a business, and it makes boxing a business to him rather than the actual talent that he
yeah,
has.
Ronaldo.
I think that's part of it.
Ronaldo. I'll agree. Brady best QB, not best athlete.
Okay, I'm going to say this now, and this is going to be maybe a hot take. Quarterback's the most impactful position. Brady's been the most impactful quarterback, in my opinion. I think Brady's the best football player of all time. And I hate to say it, I just think so personally.
All around football player. Oh shit. Fuck no. No.
I just have to say impact. I have to say what he does. I have to say when he
No.
played, and I have to say the
No.
areas he changed it. Okay, you can change it, but
No.
I don't
No.
like saying it either
No.
because I
No.
don't like Brady. But
No,
I
mother.
can say Jim Brown biasly,
Best
and I was
quarterback.
there for.
The best quarterback. He's the best quarterback. He's the best quarterback. I mean, but to say like football player, I mean like there's guys that on their film they're passing, catching, playing multiple positions like all around the field and just being an all around football player. Like if you're gonna as a football player, I look at that differently. Like, look, best QB hands down for
Yeah.
Brady.
Oh yeah.
Um, Blake,
I think
you
that
know,
like YA Tittle or something. Like it's hard because like the game changed so much,
yeah,
and the most impact you could have as a quarterback, and this guy was the best at it. I don't know.
yeah. Blake for
I
you with Floyd. Floyd doesn't have the same records, the same accolades, and also the
no
same image as Ali. Ali was just a
no.
fighter through and through, and a fighter in everything that he did. Um,
See that? Yeah, and it's a big deal with Ali, and we don't appreciate this about him. He did all this in an era where it was not appreciated. People wanted to see Floyd lose, but they really wanted to see Floyd win. I don't think people ever disliked Floyd.
Ray,
Ali
around.
mastered something here in a way around.
No, I was telling Ray to stick around. I was telling Ray to stick around. We're gonna do something for Ray here in a minute. So
Yeah, but here's what Ali did. Ali found his haters, criticized them, and then he found his supporters. And what he did better than everyone else is criticize them. He wanted everyone to dislike him because he knew people would mass watch something he was in. And that's what he mastered. If nobody liked you, a lot of people watched you to lose. And people say like they loved Ali from that era. They did not. Ali wanted to make everyone hate him, right, Robbie?
yes,
He wanted everyone against him because, again, I know people don't like him,
because of what he's
but here's Colby Covington, for example. He uses this better than anybody else right now. Everybody who was cheering him at the event when he was against Kamaru Usman, what did he do when he looked in the crowd? There was a dude holding a beer, right? He called everybody holding a beer right now a dumb alcoholic. He did. And he said, "You should hate me. I hate all of you." And he wanted everyone to hate him for a reason. Why? Because if you're hated, people buy what you do. And Ali knew that. So he was the first to get negative attention into sales and make money doing it. And he did it before it was funny. Now it's memeable. People make fun of Colby. They like him, even though he's criticizing them personally. But when Ali did it, he went to jail.
yeah.
So he deserves appreciation for that because he was anti-war before anyone else was anti-war. And that's why he deserves the respect he gets. Because I mean, people copy him. You can't be Ali because he risked everything just to be.
He did. Ali risked everything, and then after he risked everything, after becoming an American staple in our history because he risked everything, he ended up reshaping our own history and still coming back and still being a champ and still being a force and still being that bad ass motherfucker. And the work ethic that went on with him and that he showed to his daughter Layla, something unprecedented that we haven't seen in sports. I gotta go on and lead the greatest athlete of all time. Hey y'all, I want y'all to raise y'all glass at this time though, because this is the end of the show.
Okay.
Full shots only, no fucking bullshit. No baby back
Dude, look at
bullshit.
his pour, man.
I know that you got this. I know that you got this.
We got this. We're good. We got this, guys. We're good.
Um, hey, before I get into my big announcement, what's next for you? What do you have coming up? What's coming
Well,
out?
there's going to be some articles on the card that releases when, I'm saying when, Habib Tony happens. It's going to be a crazy card, Dana said. He said 99.9, I'm taking the Hunter. I really hope so, just as a biased fan. Yeah, the card's going to be out. I'm going to write my opinions on the fights. And again, I would say who to bet, but a lot of these betting sites are down for obvious reasons because no one's manning them. Due to the.
I will be having a betting service for people.
There we go. Yeah, we'll find one for you. But yeah, most of the places you usually go might be undermanned. So Robbie will figure it out for us.
Yeah.
And I will say, Blake St. Clair, if Habib does win 29-0 in MMA, yeah, he'll be up there. A Muslim superstar in his own area, I would say he would be just as famous as Ali was in his region of the world, no doubt. And GSP avenged his losses, by the way. Those are not blemishes. He avenged every loss he ever had, 26-2. So he never lost twice to a fighter, and he's even with everyone he fought or better. That's why he's the greatest fighter of all time.
That's why you're a damn good fucking reporter, one of the greatest reporters of all.
Yes, he beat both Matts. He lost to two guys named Matt and beat them both back. Matt Hughes and Matt Serra, but
Yep. Now that I say
destroyed both of
you.
them later in a well. Okay, Matt Hughes he might have lost to, but hey, he got the decision.
And that is why he writes for rumboys.com, ladies and gentlemen. That's why he's so fucking good at his job. It doesn't matter coronavirus, this motherfucker is still
Hey man,
chilling
it's
shit.
not my job. Data, get on it, get some fights, please. Get something on TV. We need
Um,
something.
I want to go ahead and utilize this time. Make sure that you guys know that you follow us at Rumboy, spelled with a Z-N-E-T, on all social media platforms. Google me, bitch. Um, you can check us out on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Make sure you leave us a 5-star review on wherever you listen to us. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, share the content. Share the content. Um, one of you can share it. It helps if all of you share all at once. Also, with that, I want to utilize my time, and I want to say happy motherfucking birthday, happy dirty 30 to the homie Ronaldo Rodriguez, bro. Yo, I love you. I
It's
appreciate
a
you, my
rough one,
brother.
man. It's a rough one or a great one, depending on how you're feeling that day.
He's strapped inside. We're all on lockdown right now. I mean, I can't even celebrate it with him. So this is as close I'm getting to it with him. Once this is all said and done, we're gonna celebrate that dirty, dirty. We're gonna get real
I'll take.
fucking, real crazy, real loose. Um, but other than that, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rum Boys and girls. What it do? Ronaldo, happy birthday, my dude, Billy Billy from the Rum Boys crew. We out of here. Peace. Woo!
Happy B Day, bro.
All right, B-Day Ray, we appreciate you. Thanks for coming through the show. The show taking a little bit longer to close down than normal.
And yes, it will. We're gonna have a good stream when this thing blows over and sports comes back.
Oh my gosh. Yo, when this shit is done, it's gonna be very entertaining.